I just had a question. Like, you talked about a lot of hypergrowth and in so many places where you worked. What was your biggest misstep in hypergrowth? So the thing that you want people to avoid going forward.
I would say that most recently, you got to read the room, you got to read the company, you got to be able to understand what's going on. I've worked in, for the most part, very hyper constrained organizations. I'll never forget Lars Dalgaard. He would say, constraint breeds innovation, right? And I don't know if he made that up or if that was a catchphrase back then, but I came from Microsoft, who was like, I had a $17 million budget. And I remember I got it down to 13 million and they got mad at me because you got to spend your budget, right? But I made my numbers and we did this thing, right? And Tom taught me about, Tom Siebel, about constraint and how you try to do more with less. And I would say here, I think I fell into the same kind of, I have that mentality from Groupon and from GoDaddy and from, like, it's almost PTSD. Almost every company, you're underfunded, you're under-resourced, you're under-constrained. And here I would say that the business, the CEO, the CFO, my boss, they kept telling me or asking me, like, what do you need? I'm like, we're fine, right? And we'll figure it out. We got the right resources, we got right. And I think just recently, as we went through this massive next wave of growth, we definitely went and asked. And I think that we asked for maybe more than we needed, and we got it. And I think that we're being super responsible about it. We haven't filled all of our positions. We're still letting things settle in. But I think that I've always just felt that my leaders have never asked me to do anything I couldn't do. But I've also thought that there was this massive responsibility. But I think that came at the expense of some of our employees, from, how much they work or how hard they work or their work-life balance. And I think that things are becoming, more friendly out there in terms of, it doesn't have to be, working 80 hours a week. We should have the right resources and the right, people to do the jobs that we need them to do. And I think this is probably one of those times where I finally started to lean in a little bit more. And finally ask for what my team has been asking for, which was help. And I think that, that's important. Right now, things are going crazy. I don't think I've ever been in a situation like we're in right now. And I mean, we look back at 2000 or 2005 or some of the hyper growth times and periods where it was crazy. Now it seems to be really, 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 tough. We're working for it. And we shouldn't be working for being constrained. So that would be the one thing that I kind of look back on and think I've been doing that my whole career. I think that this was an opportunity and we all kind of capitalized on it, which is good.